Hello everyone, my name is Humberto Borboa and I'm a singer.
Hi everyone, Mario Ramirez here and I'm a pianist.
And we are teaching artists for San Diego Opera. Welcome to video number 2.
Today we're going to be reviewing some of the terms that we learned in our last video, such as the different types of notes and the beats that go with each, as well as the rests.
And we're going to add 2 new music terms to our vocabulary. Also, we're going to introduce you to your first 3 music notes and the hand signs to go with each.
Awesome. Without further ado, let's get started. So up on the whiteboard behind us, we have all 3 of the notes that we discussed in our last video. We have the quarter note, which is the note that's filled in all the way and has a stem coming up out of it. We have the half note, which is the note that is not filled in and also has a stem coming out of it. And we have the whole note, which is just a circle that is not filled in and does not have a stem coming out of it. Each of these notes has a certain motion or clap that goes along with the note and the number of beats that each note gets. Mr. Humberto, would you like to help me illustrate the claps and the motions for the notes?
Of course. So let's remember, a quarter only has 1 beat, so we just do quarter, which is 1 clap. The half note has 2 beats, and we go like this, half note. So it's 2 movements, right? And for the whole note, we go whole that, whole note. Very good. Now let's do it again. Make sure you're joining in with me, and let's go backwards. So we're gonna do whole note, half note, and quarter. Ready and go. Whole that, whole note, half note, quarter. Excellent.
Terrific. We also have the 3 types of rests that go with each of these notes listed on the 2 examples behind me. We have the quarter rest, which looks kind of like the squiggly line with the curve at the end. We have a half rest, which sort of looks like a hat. And we have the whole rest, which looks like an upside down half rest. Just like the notes, the quarter rest gets 1 beat of silence, the half rest gets 2 beats of silence, and the whole rest gets 4 beats of silence. And this is how we clap each of these. For the quarter rest, we just go quarter. For the half rest, we go half rest. And for the whole rest, we're going to say hold that whole rest. Notice that we don't clap on any of these because they're all rests, which means we have to be quiet.
I think we're ready for example number 1.
Let's do it.
You want to demonstrate each measure?
Sure. So in our first example, we're starting off with 3 measures separated by 2 bar lines and a double bar line at the end. In the first measure, we have 2 quarter notes followed by a half note. In the second measure, we have a quarter rest followed by a half note and ending with another quarter rest. And this is finished off by the last measure, which just has 1 whole note. You ready to give it a shot?
I am. Let's try.
Let's do it. 1, 2, ready, go. Quarter, quarter, half, rest. Quarter, half, note. Quarter, 1, that, whole note.
Wow, I think we should just try that again, Mr. Mario. A little bit slower. Just a little bit slower.
Let's give it a
What
shot.
happened? Okay, ready? 1, 2,
ready, go. Quarter, quarter, half, rest. Quarter, half, note. Quarter, hold that whole note.
Wow, that was pretty good. I think we're ready to try that a little bit faster this time.
Let's do it.
1, 2, ready, go.
Quarter, quarter, half, rest. Quarter, half, note. Quarter, hold that whole note. Perfect. I think we're ready for example number 2. Now in example number 2, we have 4 measures. So we have 3 bar lines and a double bar line at the end. Notice that in the first measure, we're actually going to start off with a whole rest. So don't be fooled into clapping on that first beat because we're actually going to get 4 beats of silence. The rest of the measures are followed by a half note, a quarter rest, and another quarter note. And in the third measure, we have 2 quarter notes, a quarter rest, and ending with another quarter note. And last but not least, in the fourth measure, we have a half rest, ending with a half note. Shall we try?
Let's try.
1, 2, ready, go. Hold that whole note, half note, quarter, 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 half rest, half note.
Wow, that's actually pretty difficult. I think we should try that again a little bit slower.
Let's do it.
1, 2, ready, go. Hold that whole
rest, half note, quarter, 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 half rest, half note.
Excellent.
Great job, everybody.
Okay guys, we're back and it's time to learn our two new music terms. It's time to talk about dynamics. In music, dynamics refers to the volume. As you know, we can be playing or singing very softly or very loud. And in music, this is called piano and forte. That's right, forte. If some of you speak Spanish, you might notice that forte sounds like fuerte, which means strong. Well, in Italian, forte has the same meaning.
Perfect. As Mr. Humberto mentioned, the word piano means soft. And we might know piano because of the instrument. But did you know that piano is actually the short name for this instrument? The full name for the piano is actually the pianoforte, because this was one of the first instruments that had the capacity to play both softly and loudly. Nowadays, we call the piano just the piano for short, much like we call a Daniel Dan. So we call the piano piano, but it doesn't disregard the fact that its full name is the pianoforte because it can play both soft and loud.
Okay guys, it's time to put our two new music terms to practice, which are piano and forte. For piano, we use the letter P, and for forte, we use the letter F, and we put these two letters on top of our music notes wherever we need them.
Perfect. So we're going to combine our rhythm examples that we've been talking about, the quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes, with the dynamic terms that Mr. Humberto has taught everyone. Ready to give it a shot?
Let's try.
So our first example starts off with the P dynamic, which means to play soft, right?
That's right.
It's time to be soft. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go.
Quarter, quarter, half note. Mr. Mario, 1 second guys. Being piano doesn't mean that you have to be so soft that nobody can hear you.
Oh.
A piano means that it has to be soft but still audible, which
Okay.
Otherwise it would be a rest if nobody can hear you.
Got it.
Right?
Can I try it again?
Let's try it again.
Perfect.
1, 2, ready, go. Quarter, quarter, half note. Quarter, half note. Quarter.
Hold that! Hold no!
Ho, your horses, Mr. Mario.
It says forte.
Forte means that has to be louder, but we don't yell in music.
Oh.
We simply add more volume,
Oh.
but we never yell or shout.
Sorry.
So it has to be a little bit more audible, but not a yell. Let's try the whole thing one more time.
Let's try. All right.
Let's try. 1, 2, everybody go. Quarter, quarter, half note. Quarter, half note. Quarter.
Hold that whole note.
Excellent. I think we're ready for example number 2.
Awesome. So in this example, we're starting off forte, but we're not yelling.
That's right.
Got it. And in the second measure, we get piano, but everyone still has to hear us.
Exactly. And I gotta tell you, notice where the letter P is. It's not at the beginning of measure 2. It's actually in the middle of measure 2.
Got it.
So let's give this a try. 1, 2, ready, go.
Hold that whole note, half note.
Quarter, quarter.
Hold that whole note.
Excellent.
Got it. Congratulations. You've made it to your first 3 notes. And the good news is you already know their names because we're assuming you know the English alphabet. So the first 3 notes we're going to introduce you to are the same letters as the first 3 letters of the alphabet. A, B, and C.
Mr. Mario, could you please maybe play on the piano what that sounds like?
I would love to. So in A, B, and C, it's actually a reoccurring pattern because we have A, B, and C's all over the piano. So we can have a low A, B, and C. We can have a high A, B, and C. And we can have an A, B, and C in the middle of the piano, which as singers is the most comfortable place for us to sing. Notice that we have low pitches, high pitches, and pitches in the middle of the keyboard. These are all referring to the tones that we hear coming from the piano, which we'll also generate with our voices or other instruments.
So just to make it very clear, a low note would be this. three notes. And Mr. Mario will play them now on a high pitch. That's the ABC. Now, something very interesting about the note A or the pitch A, this is the sound that you hear in the orchestra hall before the orchestra tunes their instruments. Out of that, the whole orchestra starts tuning. You know which instrument gives that note, Mr. Mario?
I believe it's the oboe, but I could be wrong.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, now let's go ahead and start singing these notes. Just very simple. A, B, C, D, A. That's very simple. Now we can add some hand signs to it. And actually, this is going to make a lot of sense in further videos when we actually have more hand signs. But for now, we're going to start with three notes. And it will be like this. A, B, C, B, A.
Mr. Humberto, it seems like the second hand sign is a ramp to climb up to the third note. That's kind of strange.
That's actually correct. And if we break it down, we start just with a fist around our chest. Then, as Mr. Mario said, we go into a ramp, noting how we ascend in our voices. A, B, C. Then just to come again on this horizontal pattern. So let's try again. A, B, C, B, A. Excellent. So what happens if we go backwards? We'll have to start here. C, B, A, B, C. Excellent. Now, just to put everything on this video into practice, we can sing this starting from A, going to C, on piano.
So that's loud, right?
Remember, piano means soft.
Oh,
you were
right.
close, though.
That's right.
And let's try. Ready and go. A, B, C, B, A. Great job, everybody. Okay, guys. Great job today. Just to conclude our video, I would like to give you just a few breathing exercises. As you know, when we sing, you see a lot of people taking a big breath. And this is because when we exhale, it comes with a sound. And that's basically singing. So our inhalation and exhalations are the most important part of the process of singing. And it should be very organic and natural, right? Because we all take breaths to stay alive. So in this case, I just want you to relax. Please move your neck to the sides. Stretch. I don't know if you heard my bones popping there. I guess I'm getting old. But I gotta say, the voice as you keep getting older keeps developing. So this is also good to know that don't feel pressure if you don't feel like your voice is out there just with the first try. But as I said, today is just gonna be breathing exercises. So now that we're pretty relaxed, we're just gonna take a big breath. The most important part is that we don't lift our shoulders. So you're gonna make sure that you don't do this. That would be wrong because it puts a lot of pressure around our neck. And we don't wanna have any tension anywhere in our body when we sing. So when you take your breath, make sure that you try and send the air to your belly, which actually will make your belly expand, either forward or to the sides, kind of like an accordion. Try that with me. 1 and go. One more time. If you were paying attention, maybe you noticed that the first time I breathed through my nose, the second time I took the breath through my mouth, and the third time through my nose again. It doesn't really matter where you take your breath in this exercise. The important part is that we don't lift our shoulders and that we send the air to our diaphragm area. Now, to the exercise will be like this. We take a big breath without lifting our shoulders. And we make this sound that we use to tell somebody to be quiet, right? Shh. Probably somebody within our family. You don't do that in public places. But that type of sound, shh, shh, by contracting our lips forward, shh, shh, and making that sound. Okay? I'm giving you a chance to practice at home. Okay, so here we go. Take a nice breath, and we're gonna do 2 short ones, and then 1 very long until we run out of air. Ready and go. One more time. Excellent. So that, when we sing, is going to transform to this. Ha, ha, ha. Instead of being a sound like shh or just air, we're actually creating sounds.
Mr. Humberto, thank you so much for that introduction to singing. I know I'm going to be practicing those exercises at home. Hopefully you will be too. We had another great lesson today, and we're looking forward to doing some more learning with you guys with more videos to come.
Until next time.